Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike with Cruise Control and I'm going to be your cruise director for this video. So let's get started. So I know a lot of y'all are loyal cruisers. Y'all love cruising. You know everything there is to know about cruising, right? Kind of like, I don't know everything about cruising, but I keep up with it. I keep up with the news. I keep up with what's going on. I love cruising, just like a lot of y'all. So I don't know if y'all realize, but Carnival put out a new press release about their switching back over to Coke. I think it was about 5 years ago that Carnival switched from Coke to Pepsi, probably because Pepsi was cheaper, got a better contract most likely. And now they're saying they've listened to our feedback on this. We've been telling them all about how we want Coke back. We don't want Pepsi. I'm sure there's a lot of Pepsi fans too that are probably not happy with this change. But they are switching back to Coke. And they've told us it's because they're listening to our feedback. So that got my wheels turning. I was like, are they really listening to our feedback? And if they are, we should start giving them feedback about what we want with this Carnival Rewards program. You know, obviously y'all know they're switching from VIFP to Carnival Rewards. The VIFP club was great. I like it. A lot of people love it. They don't want to change, right? Well, they're going to change it 100%. They're changing it. They're not going to have the VIFP club anymore. They're definitely going to Carnival Rewards. But will they make some tweaks? That's what I'm curious about. And I think our feedback right here on this video and videos out there across the internet, all this Facebook stuff that's going on with Carnival, I think they will listen to our feedback. I think they will kind of maybe tweak it slightly. So that's what this video is about. But before we get into that, let's talk about this Coke and Pepsi switch. So Carnival has said they've switched back from Coke to Pepsi because they're listening to the feedback of their customers. Is that true? Maybe. It could be slightly. But it sounds really convenient with all this VIFP and rewards things going on. Like they're saying, hey, we're listening. We're making a switch. I honestly think that it all comes down to the bottom line, the dollar, right, for Carnival. So did Coke come back and say, okay, we'll match Pepsi's deal or we'll give you a sweetheart deal of maybe 1% cheaper? I don't know. But most likely it's a money thing. I don't think Carnival's going to make a huge switch necessarily if they're not saving money or breaking even in it, right? So either Coke's offered them the same deal that Pepsi's giving them or something close to or similar, something like that. But I do think also that Carnival will listen to our feedback. So I think some of that is true. I think they are listening to some feedback. So go ahead and drop a comment on that too. Do you think it's really because they've listened to our feedback or do you just think that Coke is giving them a better deal now? They made the switch to Pepsi because Pepsi was cheaper. Pepsi gave them a better contract. Are they doing that now with Coke 5 years later? Coming back to Coke. Now this change isn't going to affect anybody outside of America because I think Australia already uses Coke, if I remember reading the article correctly. And they've also said that the change will go in effect as of September of 2025. So sometime later this year, 2025, late September, and they're going to keep their Pepsi products on the ship until they run out. So there could be a chance you have both Pepsi and Coke there for a short time here in America until their Pepsi products run out, which may only be 1 or 2 cruises. With that said, now we know that Carnival claims that they're going to listen to our feedback. That's what this video is about. Let's give them feedback. Let's figure out if they'll make a few changes or not. Okay, like I was saying earlier in the video, I do have a suggestion, and it'll be last. I'll give it to you at the very end of the video. But this is what I wrote to Grok to kind of get them to give me some suggestions that AI would come up with. And I'm not saying Carnival's going to listen to AI. Let's just listen to these and see kind of how AI would handle this. Okay, so this is my question to AI, to Grok. In light of Carnival Cruise Line changing their loyalty program from VIFP to Carnival Rewards, there has been quite the backlash from their loyal customers. What would you suggest Carnival do to make their loyal customers happy? That's what I wrote to Grok. Like I said, I doubt Carnival is going to necessarily listen to AI to make changes, but here we go. Grok wrote back, Carnival Cruise Line's transition from the Very Important Fun Person program to the Carnival Rewards program is going to be effective June 1st, 2026, and has sparked significant backlash from loyal customers, particularly due to the shift from a cruise night-based system to a spending-based model. To address customer dissatisfaction while maintaining the new program's structure, Carnival could consider the following strategies informed by customer feedback and the program's stated goals. Okay, so here we go. Here's number 1. Grandfather lifetime status for existing platinum and diamond members. So that pretty much is self-explanatory. So Grok continues and goes on and says, many loyal cruisers feel betrayed by the loss of the lifetime status, especially those who have sailed with Carnival for decades to reach Platinum or Diamond. Carnival could allow current Platinum and Diamond members to retain their lifetime status under the old VIFP terms, ensuring their loyalty is honored. This would align the sentiments expressed on platforms like X, where this X user, Jeff Hughes, argues that existing customers should be grandfathered into the old program to preserve their earned benefits. New customers and those in lower tiers could transition to the Carnival reward system, balancing the company's need to manage top-tier growth with loyalty recognition. Now, it's out there that Carnival has said the reason they're making this change is because they are top-tier heavy. They got too many Platinum and too many Diamond. They have too many loyal customers. Sounds like a blessing, not a bad thing, but they're making it out to be a bad thing, so they need to get rid of all those customers. So their loyalty program, which is a reward program, is smaller. They don't have as many perks. They don't have to work with so many people. Kind of what it sounds like. So I don't know if this would actually work because they're not really getting rid of what they want to get rid of, which is the top tier people. So the second thing Grok has mentioned is enhanced transition period benefits. Carnival has already provided a transition period for VIFP status for Platinum and Diamond, so it's 2028 to 2032, one or the other. To further ease the shift, Carnival could offer bonus Carnival rewards points or additional perks during this period for current Platinum and Diamond members. This gesture would acknowledge their loyalty and incentivize engagement with the new program. So during their period from 2026 to 2028 for Platinum and 2026 to 2032 for Diamond, you'd get extra perks or extra bonuses during that period, which could help you reach your Diamond and Platinum status a little quicker or a little easier, Okay, and then also here's the third thing, introduce hybrid earning options. The shift to spending-based model disadvantages cruisers who sail frequently but spend less. Me. I budget cruise. I don't spa cruise. I don't suite cruise. I go in the interior room. I want to take your empty cabin that you're not going to sell, and I want it at a discounted price, right? So I'm going to sell more often than these people who spend more money, obviously, but I'm spending less money. They're saying disadvantaged cruisers who sell frequently but spend less, such as those opting for inside cabins, as noted in comments by John Held's Facebook page. Carnival could incorporate a hybrid system where both spending and cruise nights contribute to the earning status qualifying stars. For example, a formula could award stars based on combination of dollars spent and the night sailed. So maybe 3 stars per dollar and then also 100 stars per night sailed. So if I'm on a 7-night cruise, I get 700 points or 700 stars for that 7 nights. It's not a bad suggestion, actually. That's pretty good. Restore key perks with spending thresholds is number 4. The removal of perks, welcome gifts, VIFP parties, and loyalty pins has fueled discontent. So that is one thing that people are complaining about. They're not going to get this party anymore. They're not going to get their pins. They're not going to get their loyalty gift, right? Which I'm okay with not having any of that, honestly. I mean, the pin and the gift aren't that important to me. The party I did like because it was very informative. It gives you a lot of information. You get to, you just get to talk to people that you don't normally get to talk to. So Carnival could reinstate these perks under the new program, but tie them to spending thresholds within the 2-year qualification period. So a Platinum member could regain access to the VIFP party by spending $5,000 over 2 years. This maintains the spending-based model while preserving the threshold benefits. Not sure I'm into that one. I don't want to spend to get something I've already gotten for the last 10 years. So here's another one, number 6. This is interesting, but this is definitely not going to happen because Carnival won't even do it with their own brands. Offer status matching incentives. They don't even do that with their own brand. You can't even go from Carnival to Holland and get the same perks. You can't do that. Other lines offer it, but Carnival doesn't offer it. With customers threatening to switch to competitors like Royal Caribbean, MSC, or Norwegian, which offer status matching programs, some of those do. Carnival could counter this by introducing a limited time status matching initiative within their own program. For example, loyal cruisers who book a certain number of cruises or meet a spending threshold by 2028 could have their VIFP status permanently recognized in the Carnival Rewards tier system. This would encourage retention while addressing sentiments like those by TF Aficionado. I'm not sure who, it's just quoting one of his statements, who vowed to stop cruising with Carnival if their status is lost. A lot of us have done that. All right, number 7. We got 2 more. Number 7, address family and shared spending concerns. This is important. Carnival does need to come out and address this. If I book a cruise and I spend $5,000, am I the only one getting points? My wife is not. My sons aren't. You know, my granddaughter's going to go on a cruise with us in October. Is she going to get any points or stars if I book the cruise? It's all going to go under my name, my credit card. Who's getting the points? They need to address this pretty quickly. People are not understanding this, and it's not a good look for Carnival. So they're saying, so AI, Grok is saying if they address this issue, it could help relieve some of the tension. All right, here's the last one, number 8. Incorporate feedback before finalization. So Carnival brand ambassador John Held has indicated there is a year to fine-tune the program, suggesting flexibility. Carnival should establish a formal feedback channel, such as a dedicated survey or advisory panel of loyal cruisers to refine the program based on customer input. Like the change.org petition with over 2,000 signatures highlights the scale of discontent, and addressing it directly could prevent further alienation. Very, very important right here. I think this is very key. I think they either need to, John Held needs to address this every day, or maybe not every day, but weekly at least, and give us feedback as, you know, we follow them loyally, right? Even now with this bad news, we're still going to follow them loyally on what they're going to do. That's what we want to know. What are you going to do here? Because we're unhappy. So what changes are going to be made? Are you going to make any changes? Are things going to change? I don't know. Okay, so there is 8 recommendations by Grok. Of course, this is just AI. And of course, a lot of this y'all have already said as well, but I want it in the comments. Let me know. Would you mix and match a couple of these and put them together? What is your suggestion that Carnival should do about this rewards program? What do you think they should do? Okay, now let's get to my suggestion. I think it's a good one. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really change a lot of what they're doing, because I personally don't think they're going to change the idea of what they're doing. I think they're going to keep their Carnival rewards. I think they're going to keep it the way they've got it set up. They may lower some of the, you know, what's required to get to platinum and diamond. They may lower that a little bit. You know, instead of $16,667 to make platinum in 2 years, they may give you 3 years to get there maybe. Or they may take it down to like 12,600 or 14,600, something like that. So maybe not have it so high so it's almost unattainable for some people, especially diamond. But then again, maybe they only want a few diamond members, and that's why they're doing this. They want their diamond members to be their casino members, basically. I mean, it's going to amount to spending money over and over and over and over, going on these free cruises and spending a lot of money in the casino. That's where you're really going to pick up your diamond status, most likely. Okay, so here's my suggestion. So I think they should grandfather this year right here in as your points and stars accumulate. So go back to January 1st, or maybe even go back to January of 2024 when they've started mentioning that they're going to change their status, their loyalty stuff. People really thought Carnival was going to upscale what they already had, not get rid of it. So people did start booking more cruises. They went on more cruises thinking they were going to get a better deal with more nights. So the Carnival earned a lot of money just by putting the news out there that they were going to make changes to their VIFP program. Well, people thought they were going to go more towards a Royal Caribbean style where, you know, when you reach a certain level, you may get two free drinks a day. So Royal Caribbean gives you 4 drinks every night that you're on the cruise ship if you're at their diamond status, which is a platinum status for Carnival. I'm platinum on Carnival. If I was that same status on Royal, I'd get 4 drinks a night for free. Alcoholic drinks, which I don't really care to have those, but you could get those. Not only that, I'm pretty sure they're coupons, and you can give them to your friends, so you don't actually have to use them. You know, you can give them to someone else. I'm really not sure if you can give those to other people yet, but I think you can. So that's where a lot of people thought Carnival was headed, towards a better loyalty program, not a worse one for most people, right? So people started going on more cruises. People started booking more. They started spending more on their cruising. Carnival. You really went opposite direction that most people thought you were doing. So to counteract that, I suggest you grandfather in our spending that we have done at least 2025, if not 2024 when the news came out that you were going to change, and give us the points and stars that we would have accumulated and still put your deadline out there. So I've earned all these points and stars in 2024 and 2025, plus I'm going to get them in 2026, 27, and 28 to keep my loyalty or to keep my status, to keep my tier, right? That's not a bad option. You could save face a little bit with that. It's not changing anything. You're not changing your program. Your rewards program is still out there. It's still the same, but it would give people an early head start or a jump start on earning that status for their next go around. Yeah, we get it for 2 years for platinum. Yeah, they get it 6 years for diamond. But this would still save face a little bit, because I know you've had a lot of cancellations. I've got people in my comments telling me that they are canceling their cruises. They've lost their deposits. They're okay with losing their deposits, which you're making money off of again, and you're going to get to resell that room. So you made money off of their deposits, plus you're reselling that room. So you're making not twice the money, but you're making additional money for the next year and a half, 2 years that you didn't account for, but now you're getting. So that's going to make your sales go up, and it's not going to depict in the grand scheme of things of how your sales have actually went down or people have canceled because they're disappointed. It's not going to really show that. So I really think my suggestion where you could accumulate points and stars over the past year or two, like grandfather those 2 years in, Carnival can do that. They can give us the points and stars for what we've already spent. I think it would help. It would save face a little bit for Carnival, right? All right, let me know what you think down in the comments. Give me your suggestions so Carnival can read it. If you've missed my previous videos about the Carnival rewards and the VIP program, click right here or right here. There's going to be 2 different videos here for you. Go check them out. I think you'll really enjoy them. All right, y'all. We'll see you on the next video, and thanks for stopping in. Bye.